Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Most High, Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they even call Jesus Christ. This is for the elect of the nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. And so, just looking at Obadiah and Jeremiah, especially Jeremiah chapter 49, it talks about Edom, and it starts going into the prophecies of Edom. And right after that, it starts talking about Babylon. But starting at 49, it lets you understand Jeremiah was not writing chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. He was writing in an order, and once he got to chapter 49, he started at verse 7. In chapter 49, he started talking about Edom, even though the whole chapter is about Edom, and it's mainly about the climax of the kingdom and the second return of Yahushua. But to get to the details, in Jeremiah 49:7, it started naming names, and it say, concerning Edom, thus says the Lord of hosts. In verse 7, it says, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So it's going in on Edom and the Edomites, showing you what's going on with them. In verse 10, it talks about Esau shall not be able to hide himself. So he's going to be trying to hide himself. He's going to be trying to change his name, hide his identity, be on the run as a fugitive. And so once you get to verse 14 of Jeremiah 49, it lets you know what's going to happen while he's in process of being a fugitive, trying to hide himself. In verse 14 it say, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen. Now when you go to Obadiah 1:1, it says it a little different, because it says an ambassador is sent among the heathen, meaning that this ambassador is not a heathen. You see, this ambassador is an Israelite, because this is who the Lord is going to use, you see, for his battle. Not only that, who was sent amongst the heathen, and especially Edom. When you go to Amos chapter 1, just picking up a verse, it says, talking about the Israelites, it says, let's do verse 9 in Amos chapter 1. It says, thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the brotherly covenant. Who was the whole captivity delivered? The whole captivity of who? That was the Israelites was delivered up to Edom by Tyrus, or a Hamite nation, or a Hamite king. So when you look at it, it says in Obadiah. Let's go to Obadiah. Obadiah, the first verse, how it started off. Bear with me once. Okay, Obadiah, it say, the vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. So this is being done among the heathen. That means it is an Israelite. It is an Israelite sent among the heathen as in captivity. While this Israelite is in captivity, he is being an ambassador for the Lord. Now, when you go to Jeremiah 50, starting at verse 33, he says, thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And so in chapter 50, where it's talking about these Israelites would be in captivity, it said, this is the word that the Lord spake against Babylon. You see, Babylon is where the Israelites would be in captivity. And while they was in captivity, they was going to be ambassadors for the Most High and give them the rumor that they're going to have to go into battle with the Most High. They're going to be exposed and told that the Most High is coming for them. Because when you go back to Jeremiah 49:14, it says, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. You see, now that rise up to the battle, that goes back to Psalms. I'm thinking Psalm 96 off the top. Psalm 96, and it says, Salakia, Psalms 94:16. Psalms 94:16. It say, who will rise up for me against the evildoers? And who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? So when you go to Obadiah and it says, who the ambassador for the Most High is telling people to rise up against her, you see, and Edom is the evildoer. Edom is the evildoers, the Edomites, they the evildoers, and the Most High is asking, who is going to rise up for me against these individuals, against this nation? You see, so when you go to Jeremiah, and it says in 49, it say while Esau is trying to hide, but he's not gonna be able to hide himself, but he's trying to hide and escape punishment. It's gonna be an ambassador to stand up, or ambassadors to stand up and say, gather yourself together and come against her and rise up to the battle. So he's gonna stand up and say, rise up in the battle against these Edomites. Then when you jump over to 22 in Jeremiah 49, it say, behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty man of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. Then he say in 23, he say concerning Damascus, it says Hamath is confounded, meaning confused, and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. You see, Tidings mean news. It says good tidings in Isaiah 61, talking about the good news. It's talking about they have heard evil news. And what is the evil news? That the Most High is going to raise up the Israelites to battle the nation of Edom. You see, that's why he said he spread his wings over Basra. And the mighty men of Edom, you see, they ones going to have sorrow and pains like a woman when they hear the evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. You see, they're going to be faint-hearted when they hear this rumor from the Lord, from the mouth of the ambassadors. There is sorrow on the sea. It cannot be quiet. You see? And so that's when you get the revelation, and it talks about the devil having great wrath, knowing that he has a short period of time. And in Revelation 11:11, saying great fear fell upon them that saw the ambassadors on the corner, giving the rumor from the Lord, telling them to rise up against her in battle. And see, the mighty men of Edom, that's when they're gonna have fear in their heart and be faint-hearted when they hear this evil news, this bad times of this news that's gonna be talking about bad times. That's what evil tidings is. You getting news of the bad times that is coming for the nation of Edom. And so the Most High have not battled with Edomites. So, you know, the Jehovah Wickedness and these Christians saying that they joined the nation of Israel and you know, mingled in with the nation of Israel. That's a bold-faced lie. They never was destroyed, and they never mingled into the nation of Israel. They are the Greeks, the Romans. That's who those so-called Greeks was. They was Edomites. Those Romans, they was Edomites. You see, this rebirth of the Roman Empire, America and Britain, they are Edomites. And so they're hearing the rumor of the Lord, and they having great wrath now. You see, and they trying to come for the nation of Israel, because they done heard the rumor from the Lord, and this great wrath is going to try to come upon the nation of Israel, the elect of the nation of Israel, the remnant of the nation of Israel. And so when you go to Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14, it lets you know what's going to happen. It say, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, says the Lord God. So the nation of Israel is going to end up getting spiritual power, and when they get these spiritual powers, that's when the battle is going to start. Now I got two verses I'm going to close up to certify that statement. Now when you go to, let's see here. When you go to Zechariah chapter 9, it lets you know how this thing going to go down. In chapter 9 of Zechariah, it say, when I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim, and raise up the sons, O Zion, that's the nation of Israel, against thy sons, O Greece. You see, the Grecians, the Edomites was calling themselves Greeks, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. You see, so the Most High is going to give the nation of Israel power. So you go to the next chapter 12, and verse 8 gives you the climax of when it's going to pop off. it says in verse 8, in that, this is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the Israelites, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. You see, now that's when the climax, because the ambassador, he's telling them what the Most High is going to do. You see, and he's rising up against the evildoers to tell them about the battle that the Most High is going to have with them. But the battle is not going to start until the Most High bring his son Yahushua and give the nation of Israel spiritual power. Because once they get this spiritual power, the Yahushua is going to be on the way. He's going to be on the scene probably at the same time when they start getting these spiritual powers. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rekakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.